All right, so let's go ahead and kick things off. Guys, welcome to this webinar that Jeff and I are putting on, talking about how to create custom GPTs and why, if I look at the right camera now, why the custom GPTs are so important and that they're coming through and that we can figure out how you guys can use those to provide the best possible experience, both for your business, your users, and everything else pertaining to that. We're literally going to take time today and we're going to walk through step by step. The reason I'm sharing my screen is we're going to show you how to create these GPTs so you know exactly what to do in order to set them up. But first, let me spend just a moment talking to you about why custom GPTs, why are they important, and what is it? So a custom GPT really at its core, and I've got a bunch of them as I share my screen here, you'll be able to see on the side here, I've got a number of additional options underneath ChatGPT. I've got a Hormozy GPT, a Coach Josh, a Prompt Craft one, a Founding Insight. I live in the United States. That's a bunch of stuff from our founding fathers. I've got one that I've created that's just for my agency. This is the type of thing I'm going to show you guys how to create. Imagine taking information about your business and uploading that to ChatGPT, and then having a custom GPT like this that not only is branded by you, but that your team, your customers, anyone you want can use to actually get information, not just from ChatGPT, but from your business. Imagine in this case, we use this for our customer service team. They have the ability to go in and they actually have the opportunity to ask questions, and the responses from ChatGPT aren't just going to be ChatGPT's information. It's also all of the custom content that I uploaded and shared with them. So they're going to literally be able to get responses as though they had this vast knowledge base of everything that my agency, Whitebeard Strategies, has done. There's other things you can do, like you can create ones that maybe are really good at creating social media posts. So here's an example of this one. I can literally go in and I've trained it based on some of the best information available, the best ways to create social media posts that, from my perspective, I've uploaded guides and training. And by the way, not all from me, but from other people that I trust. And now when I go ahead and do that, it creates amazing social media posts. And there's a whole bunch of other ones that I have up on here. This is one that I think is interesting. So you guys may or may not be familiar with a tool called SEO Minion. It's a very popular tool that marketers use. And they've actually created this custom GPT that they go out and they'll analyze your website using Google's quality rater guidelines and give you advice on how you can make your website better. And they designed this by going to Google and taking Google's quality rater guidelines, which ChatGPT may or may not be familiar with. They uploaded all that information, and now when you do this GPT, its whole purpose is to provide you with information on your website, things that you can do based upon Google's quality rater guidelines. So you can imagine what a great tool that can be, because I've now taken the power of ChatGPT, incorporated that with some custom information and everything else, and I'm creating something that I can use, I can share publicly wherever. I want to encourage you, if you've got a business, this may be not only one of the best ways for you to actually provide value in what you're doing, but it may also be a great way for you to do prospecting and sales, because of the fact that you can create a GPT and give it away to people for free. With all that, I'm going to move my mic here just a minute, try to bring things in just a little bit closer.
Well, John,
that's an awesome tool.
Just keep the GPT Open API specification, and that's mine.
Yeah. So is that one yours? Is this one here?
Yeah.
Mart, I love this one, Mart. So thank you so much. So you can see there's a good example. I didn't even remember where I found this one from, but I love this. And in fact, I just used it this morning, Mart. And one of the things I used it for was to help my communities understand the basics of prompting. And I used this exact one right here. How do I create an effective prompts for GTP? So Mart, this is obviously impromptu. You weren't planning on this, but tell me just a little bit, what was behind your planning on this, and what type of information did you upload to create this amazing custom GPT?
Actually, I uploaded nearly quite a lot of ChatGPT's custom documentation.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
besides documentation or ideas from other websites.
Well, I think it's fantastic. I'm just going to show everybody how it works here. We'll use yours, Mart, as an example because I love this one. And I just asked, how do I create an effective prompt for GPT? And what's happening in the background, and Mart, please direct me if I miss anything here, but it's using the information that Mart uploaded to create this custom GPT to now answer my question. It's not just using ChatGPT's information, it's also using the custom instructions, the background information, the resources that Mart uploaded to this custom GPT. And you can see, while ChatGPT is a little bit slower than it has been in a long time, we're all running into that right now. Overall, this is creating an amazing response that I can use to learn how to create an effective prompt for ChatGPT. Great information here. Things like be clear and specific. That, as you mentioned, Mart, that probably comes right from their user guidelines and how to do things. How to provide context when necessary, and that's important to do. Really, really big deal. Things on how to structure your prompt effectively, how to ask direct questions when you're doing creative stuff, how to offer more detailed descriptions. You may or may not be familiar with this, but as Mart just said, this is all information that's coming from what he uploaded to create this custom GPT. And Mart and I, by the way, have never met. We've never talked about it. I know he's in a couple of my groups, but we've never actually had a conversation. This is the first time I've seen him on video. But here's a great example. Mart made this available for free, shared that link, and I've actually got it saved over in my toolbar because I use it that often. And what a great way to create credibility for that. The other neat thing about this is, notice when I go here, oh, Mart may have turned that off. Let's see here. It should tell me, normally it's going to have an author name here. And that, if I can look on Whitebeard Strategies, for example, you can see it's got my name on here. So as you're sharing that, it's a great way for people to know who you are as well. But let's go ahead and let's dive in.
I'm not
I know
too
you guys.
interested in advertising myself, but I may reconsider. It is not too hard to find this button and to write the author's name.
It is. It's not. It's not too
Forgive
hard.
me for my English, but it is. It is. I'm living in quite near of Santa Claus, so English is not my first language.
That's all right. You're doing a great job, Martin. We appreciate it. Well, let's walk through and show you how. Now, I want to preface, because I know we're going to get people, especially on the replay, commenting about, I don't see this. So I just was talking to one of my clients in New Zealand yesterday, and they don't have this capability yet. Depending on where you are in the world, you may or may not have this yet. If you don't, I want to tell you guys up front, I can't fix it for you. I don't control OpenAI. I cannot get you access if you don't have it. This is directly from OpenAI. You need to have a paid account or you cannot access these GTPs. So if you're on the free account, I'm sorry, but they won't work. This is a premium feature on their paid accounts only. So before you send me a bunch of hate messages about this doesn't work and that it's not free, it is free if you're a paid member. They don't charge you more, but you do have to have the paid subscription, and you have to be somewhere in the world where they've rolled this out. That's most of the world, but there are some countries like New Zealand, at least as we're recording it as of yesterday, that don't have this yet. Give it time, it'll come out. So how do we do this? What do we do? Well, we go down to the explore function, and yours may be slightly higher in your sidebar than mine, depending on how many of these custom GPTs you've saved. And then we're going to say, create a custom GPT. And it's going to literally walk us through every step that we need to do. And the beauty of this is the fact that we don't need to know any programming. Guys, I am not a programmer. I'm a sales and marketing guy. I don't know anything about programming. But let me show you how easy it is. And we're going to create one right here. I'll share the link with you. I'll probably add more to it over time, because it can take a little while to add more stuff to it. But let's just take a look. So GPT Builder pops up and says, hi, I'll help you build a new GPT. You can say something like, make a creative who helps generate visuals for new products, or make a software engineer performance. But what would I like to make? Well, I'm going to upload some information that I just recently got together. And I want to say, let's make a coach to help businesses, entrepreneurs, and professionals. And by the way, I can't type and talk at the same time, so you guys will probably realize that. Professionals. There we go.
Fix it all by himself.
There we go. Yeah. And professionals learn how to create topical authority and online omnipresence to become the go-to expert in their niche. Now I'm doing this because this is what my business does. This is what I do. But let's create a custom GPT that I can literally now provide to people. And just think about this from a marketing standpoint. I can provide this to prospects, to clients, and things like this, providing a tool that they can use to do that. And we'll notice, again, we're recording this. You're watching the Zoom here. We're live. We're going to have to wait on GPT. So we're not going to be able to fast forward through these. But based on what I did, this custom GPT is now updating its parameters to be able to do that. It's recommending we call this authority coach. That sounds good to me. So I'll say, yeah, that's great. We could, by the way, change that if I wanted a different one, but I like authority coach. So let's go ahead and run with that. Now, the next step it's going to do is it's going to generate an icon or a profile picture. We can see over here in the preview on the right, it's just got a cube right now. It's going to actually generate, using DALL-E 3, an image that it thinks we should use to make coach for topical authority and online presence. So let's see what it comes up with.
Fantastic.
That one. Go ahead, Jeff. What was that?
So fantastic. A bit old-fashioned, but fantastic.
Yeah, I say it is a bit old-fashioned, but I don't think it's too bad. And again, because we're doing this live, we may change it down the road. But notice it's automatically now pre-populated that over here. And I'm creating a branded solution that I can provide and will represent. I can upload, you can upload logos if you want and stuff. As you saw, I actually did that for my Whitebeard strategies. I could take this image and superimpose my logo in the corner or something. There's lots of things we can do to brand this down the road. But for right now, this is good. So it's given us this. We say it's great. And now it's literally just going to ask us the next question. One of the things I love about custom GPTs, again, as I mentioned, you don't have to be a programmer. This is literally just going to walk us through a process, asking us questions. Just give it enough time to answer the questions. Don't rush through this. Take a moment and put everything in. So it wants to refine the role and goals of this for the authority coach. What specific areas of online presence and topical authority would like to focus on? For example, should it concentrate more on content strategies, SEO, social media, or something else? So I want to say that we should concentrate. And again, remember, I can't talk and type, so I'll probably type and then talk on, let's say, creating, even better, answering Google's people also ask questions first, creating written articles to answer those questions, then creating videos.
Wow.
Yeah, my typing's terrible. Gary, sorry about that. To that.
Don't worry about that. It will fix all the typing errors all by himself.
Create social media posts. All right, since I'm just a slightly anal retentive, we'll go in and fix these really quick. But notice I'm just sharing with it my philosophy. And by the way, if you don't know me very well, my recommendation for clients is that we do exactly this. We begin by going to Google's People Also Ask questions. We can find out on average 50 to 100 questions that Google wants you to ask to be seen as an expert in your niche. And then I go out and I want to write content for that. And then I want to begin with an article and a video that corresponds, and then social media posts that we can link back to that article and video. So let's talk about what authority coach should emphasize or avoid. And I love this because maybe as you're creating this, you want it to avoid certain things, and you can tell it what to avoid, and it will. So are there specific practices, tones, or types of device you highlighted or steer clear of? This can include things like avoiding overly technical jargon, emphasizing ethical SEO practices, focusing on industries. We'll keep this generic for industries at the moment, but here's a great example. I could create this, for example, just for digital marketing agencies, or just for dentists, or just for chiropractors by specifying that here. You may end up deciding you want to create multiple custom GPTs to better serve the different niches that you're working in. So in this case, I'm going to say avoid overly technical jargon.
Jonathan, could you say something like avoid crypto or something like that, or Bitcoin if they weren't your agenda?
I have say avoid any mention of crypto.
Yes, or Bitcoin. They're my two pet hates, by the way.
Yeah, I get it. And we'll add in or Forex, which seems to be the trading one that everybody wants to use when they're talking about that. Then again, chances are it's not going to put much in about that, but it's good to let it know we want to avoid that.
Yes.
And then the other thing I want to say here is things that we should please use a tone representative of let's say an expert influencer and marketer such as Russell Brunson. You guys may or may not know Russell Brunson. Russell owns ClickFunnels. He's got a very direct style. He's got tons of integrity, so I like him, and that's good. I'm going to put that we should use that. But I also, because I know from other use that ChatGPT knows who Russell Brunson is, but please avoid discussing sales funnels. Sales funnels are great, but it's not the purpose for the topical authority. And so I know when I mention Russell Brunson, it's going to absolutely bring in things about sales funnels and funnel hackers. And I want to avoid those terms that he's well known for while still bringing in his overall style. So let's go ahead and send that. Every time you respond, ChatGPT is going to think and it's going to build something. And again, if you guys are watching right now, you know that since they announced these, the load on their servers has been absolutely unbelievable, and we're getting an error. We'll keep trying this a few times and see if this comes through for us. We may or may not just hit a bad spot, in which case, if you run into this, come back a little bit later. And we're doing a live video here. We may or may not have that opportunity. Let's go ahead and while this is thinking, we're going to give it a second. Let's take a look at what we've built over in the preview. So notice it's already pre-populated some questions, and we, by the way, can change these. But how do I establish topical authority? Well, if somebody's interested in using this authority coach, that's probably a really good place to start. What are key strategies for online omnipresence? Again, I said I wanted to create a custom GPT that was going to both help with topical authority and that was going to be able to help with building online omnipresence. So super important. Can you suggest a content plan for my niche? These are great questions. Again, you can absolutely change these. Now, we're still having problems with GPT, so I'm going to go over here in the upper right-hand corner, and I'm going to save this. And notice when you do this, you can make this available only to yourself, so you can create a custom GPT that only you can use. You can make it for you and anybody with a link can use it, or you can make it public. So for right now, I'm going to go ahead and make this one only me with a link. We can change that down the road. But if you would make it public, people can actually search for these and find it. And if there's not a reason not to make it public, I probably would ultimately. We're not done yet. That's one of the reasons I'm not going to make it public, because we're not done. But I'm going to go ahead and confirm this. And before it forgets anything I've done, I want to make sure I've got this saved. There we go. It's saved, and you can see it's already brought us in here. And let's just try one for real quick and see how it works before we go back in and expand on it. And let's take a look at that. How do I establish topical authority? Now, mind you, this isn't the only thing that you can ask. People can ask anything of this. They can come in and they can say, who's Jeff Velan here? Or who's Mart? And you can ask that. It'll still try to answer that using the information that it has. The next step we're going to take, assuming it's going to allow us to do so, is we're actually going to upload some information that I've created on topical authority that represents my perspective and my views on this. And we're going to be able to upload that. You can see we're having some issues with OpenAI right now because we're even getting a network error just doing that. Again, that is not indicative of anything other than overuse on the OpenAI platform. You guys have probably seen as we're recording this in late November of 2023, if you're watching the replay, ever since they announced CustomGPT's, they've been getting bombarded. Their servers are just getting totally whacked. So let's go ahead in here, and I want to go into Explore again because I want to go edit this. And I have to go into Explore. It shows you the custom GPTs that I've created. And now I can click on Edit, and we can go back in. It recognizes that we're back, and it wants to do other things that we can add in there. So I should have copy and pasted my last things. But let's ask it, what was the last question you asked that I did not respond to? Because I have a feeling it may remember, and I don't know. I'm trying this out live, guys. So, hey, there we go. Look at this.
Yes.
It remembered what it asked me last that I didn't respond to. So if you've been watching this, the server timed out, and we said we want to add something. Let's add this back in here. So we said we want to avoid crypto. I know I'm spelling that wrong because I don't do crypto. There we go. Avoid crypto. And actually, let's make it avoid references to crypto, Bitcoin, Forex, and other cryptocurrency terms. And again, chances are it wouldn't do that anyway, but we're going to put it in there and use a style and tone similar to Russell Brunson without mentioning his name or the terms funnel hacker, funnel builder, sales funnel. And I'm going to add this in a little more interesting. We're going to have it use a tone and a combined style and tone similar to Russell Brunson. And let's make this interesting. And Alex Hormozi. You guys have been watching recently. You probably know who Alex Hormozi is. Just put a bunch of terms out, but we're going to go ahead and set that in there. Let's see, cross our fingers. Let's see if it works or if we're going to time out here. It's updating. All right. We're doing all right here, guys. We found it. We found it. By the way, this is a good lesson. If you're using ChatGPT right now, again, end of November 2023, and it's erroring out on you on occasion, just try again. It's not refusing you. It's just saying the servers are too dang busy and it can't do it at the moment. So it's now updated that behavior. Those changes have been made. Authority Coach will now avoid references to cryptocurrencies and emulate a style similar to prominent online business marketing experts, focusing on impactful content strategies without using specific terms like funnel hacker and sales funnel. If there's anything else you want to do. So I want to upload some reference documents here. So how can I upload, and I don't remember how to do this, that's why I'm asking, some reference material. I'm pretty sure I can figure it out, but let's just ask it. Again, remember, you don't need to know any programming here, folks. So you can upload reference by using the file upload feature. Simply drag and drop into the window or click on the upload icon, which looks like the paperclip right here. So let's go ahead and do that. So the other day I had uploaded, let me just look in my downloads folder here. I've got to find the right thing that I did. Oops, there we go. I recently had a long conversation with, well, here's what I'm going to do. Let me upload. If that's it. Nope, those are images. Here we go. So I did an AI talk. I had nearly an hour-long conversation with ChatGPT and using its voice feature, which we're not going to talk about today. And I then saved that conversation to a PDF. And it was asking all kinds of questions about topical authority and how to create it and everything else. And I'm going to go ahead and upload that document. And the other thing I'm going to do here real quick, if I can get a window open, and I don't know if I'll share this one, if you guys will be able to see it. If not, my apologies. But let me pop out real quick a minute. I just did a course. And let's go ahead and take a look here. Jeff, are you seeing my blue screen right now, or are you still seeing ChatGPT?
ChatGPT.
Okay. what I'm doing here, just so I don't have to switch windows, guys, I'm going into Google Drive. I recently just created a brand new topical authority course that I'm going to make available for people. And I'm actually now opening up that document. I'm saving that document as a PDF. And now I'm going to upload that entire document. So my entire course, I'm going to upload back into ChatGPT to utilize for the purposes of this. So I've uploaded my one. Let's click on the pay-per-click again. Here's my topical authority course that I just printed as a PDF. It's going to upload that. So again, not only am I uploading the conversation I had, which was almost an hour long, but I'm uploading an entire topical authority course, and I'm just going to say upload those documents. It's going to take a second here, searching for knowledge. And what it's going to do is it's going to take both of those PDFs and all of the information in there and use that now for reference as it responds to things down the road. So that quickly, it's reviewed both of those PDFs, told me what they are. They've even come back and said these documents offer comprehensive insights into building topical authority and establishing a strong online presence. Notice I didn't tell it that, guys. It pulled that out of the documents. So it tells you it's reading it. They cover various aspects like identifying your audience, leveraging AI tools, mastering content creation, engaging with your audience, understanding different content types, and more. Guys, you've been watching this. I have not told ChatGPT any of that information. It pulled all of that from those PDFs. So really, really cool. And then it tells us it's going to, based on that material, it's going to tailor the guidance to align with these strategies and principles. And guys, this is where CustomGPT is so powerful for business, because if your business has a unique perspective on how you do things, you don't have to share your trade secrets here, but you can now have this CustomGPT respond in a manner similar to how you would train your team to do it, or how you, if you're a solopreneur, might do it yourself. This is so valuable and can save you so much time. I can share this with Jeff, who's literally on the other side of the world from me, and we tend to catch each other in the morning and late at night before when one of us is waking up and one of us is falling asleep. I can now give this to Jeff, and anytime Jeff wanted advice from me on how to do topical authority or create online omnipresence, he could go to this CustomGPT and ask, and guess what? He'd be getting advice from my knowledge base. And that's where the real power comes in. So it's asking, is there any specific aspect from these materials that you want to focus on, or any particular guidance? I'm just going to say, use these documents and the information in them as background information when answering questions about topical authority and online omnipresence. Specifically, follow I'll say my recommendations for what type of content to create in what order and how to publish, link, and amplify that content. Now you may be going, Jonathan, what are you talking about? Well, inside of these documents, I've actually shared in the lesson plan and everything else how I recommend doing that. So I'm telling ChatGPT in this case, use that as your baseline. When people are asking, so when Jeff's in the Philippines and he's asking about omnipresence, and Jeff, I know you know about it, so I don't mean to pick on you there, but if he was, or one of Jeff's clients was looking at it, they would actually get the perspective that I want them to have, which is my recommendations. They're not going to get other recommendations on that. So really, really cool. So it says the updates are complete. Authority Coach is now equipped to provide expert advice on topical authority and online omnipresence, specifically following the methodologies and strategies from the documents I provided. Now, keep in mind, we're not going to spend a lot of time right now because we're live streaming this, but, well, I think we're recording it, but you can come back and add additional stuff. So I can come back and continue to add to this CustomGPT anytime I want to make it better and better and better. So we're good with there. Let's go click on the configure button. And this is where we can change things. So if I decided I wanted to change the photo, I can do it right here. We want to change the way we do this, I can change it here. Expert in topical authority using provided material. So I don't like that description. I don't think that's really good. So I'm going to put in here something that the user wants to say. Learn how to create topical authority and online omnipresence to be recognized as the go-to expert in your niche. You may go, why do you want to do that, Jonathan? Well, I want to do that because when people do this, look in the preview on the right here, it's going to show them that. And now when they load Authority Coach, because I will share this publicly, they can go, oh, now I know what it does. Really, really important. I'm not going to worry about the instructions right now. It's probably fine. I did mention to you, notice I said there's multiple questions it's going to give you, and you can add to those and change those around. So let's take a look at what it suggested. It said, how do I establish topical authority? I like that one. What are key strategies for online omnipresence? I like that one. Can you suggest a content plan for my niche? That's great. How do I enhance my professional network online? That's not bad. Those are good. Jeff and Mart, you're live here. Anything you want me to add to that? Any other pre-canned questions I should put in place there? One I'm thinking of is, how do I learn what topics and questions
Very good.
I should talk about? And then let's add one more is, what type of content should I create in which order in order to build topical authority and omnipresence? Fix that. There we go. So now when I save these, it's going to add those in. That may not do it in the preview, but it should now show 6 questions instead. Notice I've got knowledge here. I can add additional things. And this is a really important thing as you're setting up your GPT. You can decide what capabilities you want to give it. Do I want to give it the ability to search the web? I do. Do I want to give it the ability to generate images? I do, but I could turn that off. And do I want to let Code Interpreter enable that? And I don't know what that means. So let's look. Code Interpreter lets your GPT run code. Your GPT can analyze data, work with files you've uploaded, do math, and more. And yes, I do, because I want to give people the ability to maybe upload PDFs or upload a spreadsheet of topics and make recommendations and things like that. I can also create additional actions if I want. And then I've got additional settings. Let's just take a look here. Do I want to use the conversation in your chat GPT to improve the models? Everybody has strong opinions on this. You know what? I assume at this point, everybody knows everything I say, everything I type, and everything I do, whether it's the government or OpenAI. So go ahead, you can have my information. I'm not going to worry about that, and I'm perfectly fine. Now that we're done, notice over in the upper right-hand corner, it says we have unpublished changes. It's really important when we make this. We've got to go click update, and I'll now make this public. We have to update that or it won't work. Those changes we made will be lost. So we want to update. And notice now it's given us a GPT link. I'm going to go ahead and copy that. And I'm actually going to share that in the chat here. So if you guys are watching this, you can see it and you want to try this out. I've just shared that over there. You guys can take a look at it. So a couple interesting things we can do here. So we've created this. Let's go ahead and view the GPT and take a look. So here's our authority coach. Why it didn't take my extra questions, I don't know. That happens sometimes. Maybe the server's busy. We'll go back and take a look at that. But now I can do this and I can actually ask my authority coach. And let's ask it one of the things that's not listed there. So let's just say, I'm a dentist. We'll do that. So I'm a dentist. And I'm here in the US. So let's just say in Dallas, Texas. And I want to create topical authority. Let's say I want to be seen, this is even better, be seen as the expert in my niche. Where should I start and what questions and topics should I answer? So let's do this live and see how this works. By the way, guys, this is all live. I just created this on the Zoom call. I have no idea how well this is going to perform. Mind you, we've only uploaded 2 documents at this point, so there's a lot more that we could do, but let's take a look. So establishing yourself as a dental expert in Dallas, Texas involves a strategic approach to building your topical authority. Let's outline a step-by-step plan. Guys, I can tell you as I'm seeing this, This is coming out of the course that I uploaded. Remember, I told you I uploaded a course with almost 60 pages of stuff in a PDF. This is coming right out of that. So I know it's using it because I wrote the course, and here's that. Now, the beauty is, again, what's that matter? It means as a business, I can provide this to people, and they're going to get recommendations as though they were talking to me or talking to my company. That provides huge value. Now, it's given us a lot of stuff here, but that's okay. And it's walking through, and again, it's talking about, again, these are all things. I talk about infographics. I talk about webinars. Those are things we talked about in the training. It's also, and I want to point out, it's using the information that ChatGPT has to create this as well. It's not just based solely on what I've given it. It's also using ChatGPT's information so that it can give the best possible answer to my questions across the board. So pretty good. I like this. It's also giving me some tips about patient education, local SEO, networking, and stuff like that. So some really good stuff that's doing. Mart, that's a great point. So Mart just posted in the comments, always explain terminology and ask for a niche. That's fantastic stuff. So here, let's go take a look at this. And one of my favorite things to do, and I'm just going to grab this question, is please ask me any questions that you'd like answered and allow me to answer prior to giving me the best response to this question. So I'm going to add a new one and just go, where do I get, or let's say, how should I get started today? Give me one simple task to complete. And then I'm going to say, please ask me any questions, because maybe it wants some additional clarifying information. In this case, nope, it said it had enough information about me. And so to kickstart my journey and establish, let's see, it says it wants me to identify the most common dental concerns in Dallas. That makes sense. If I'm a dentist in Dallas, I need to understand what people in Dallas are looking for when it comes to dentists. And it's given me some tips on how to do that. What are the most common dental issues or questions they ask about? And notice it's given me some examples like concerns about cosmetic, pediatric, things like that. This is where the value comes in, guys, because notice the first answer was pulling a lot of my information out of my course. Now I don't know anything about dentists, but now it's using ChatGPT's vast knowledge base to pull in information that pertains to topical authority and online omnipresence that is relevant to what I told it to do. But I don't have to be a dentist. I don't have to be a chiropractor. I don't have to be anything. ChatGPT is going to do this and still provide tons of value. Have you noticed any dental trends or increased demands in your practice recently? Are there any particular age groups or demographics you want to serve more? I'm not going to go through this anymore, but you can see we can carry on this conversation and using, again, a combination of my content and ChatGPT's vast knowledge, it can provide tremendous value to what's going on. The other thing you want to do, by the way, if you find a ChatGPT that you or custom GPT you like, you can click on it up here and you can then ask information about it. As the author, I can edit it. If you guys were to do it, you wouldn't have the edit option. I can hide it from the sidebar. Notice it's over here. I can copy a link, or somebody could even report me and say I was doing something unethical. Hopefully that won't happen. But if your haters are out there, it could. But if I want to go back in and edit, I just click on Edit GPT. And now I'm back in this window where I can put information. Mark, you had just shared something in the chat about the different sides of this window, I believe you were talking about. Can you explain to our audience here the difference between the create and the configure, or what you were saying in the chat? Because I've been talking, I didn't get a chance to read that well. Was I right? Am I on the right track? Have you got something you can add value to here, Mark?
Okay, I will not speak about the configuring option now, but I wanted to say that parallelly, when on the right side from you, you can work with a chat GPT, your GPT as it was prior the last save. And when you will
in this area here, Mark,
at the same time, you can add information to the left pane.
Right,
so
correct.
You are editing on the left pane, but you can also test it right here. This is a
gotcha. Okay. That's a great tip. Thank you, Mart. I was not aware of that. So you can test it right here by using this right pane preview to ask questions and to make sure it's giving you the prompts that you want and giving you the responses. And again, I'm going to go through and upload some more of this because I actually like this idea. I thought of it this morning as we're creating this, but I want to make this available, and I'm going to go ahead and add this and make this available to anybody that's out there. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and update everything that I've just saved. By the way, I could change it. Let's say I decided I want to go back only to people with the link. I can do that. Now, anybody that pulled the link out of this would still have access to it. But if you weren't, it would no longer be publicly available. So you would need the link in order to see that. So let's just go ahead and save that here a minute, see if we can get out. I just saw an error message pop up. Again, ChatGPT is busy. There we go. So Mart, that's a great tip. You can configure on the left-hand pane. You can then go ahead and type and test on the right-hand pane. Great tip. So
one more thing, everything what you are uploading from here from the right pane, this information will be lost. The only information what stays in your knowledge base is what you are uploading from the left pane.
correct. Yep. Yeah, it's a good point Mark makes. If you're uploading stuff, don't try to feed it new information on the right preview. You feed it new information for its background on the left-hand side by uploading stuff. Or if I wanted to, I could just I could copy and paste a large text file in there. If I could, let's go ahead. For example, we've got the screen here. Let me just do a Google search. And let's go search for PDF on creating online omnipresence. Let's see here. We can find something that makes sense. That might be good. I'm not going to do this, by the way, because I don't necessarily have the rights to do this, and I would want to do that. But let's just say, here we go. We'll assume the Science Direct article is one I wanted to do. I could actually take this article and copy and paste the text from this article into ChatGPT to use as background. Now, I am not an attorney, and I'm not telling you should take other people's stuff and do that, okay? That may or may not be okay and kosher with copyright law. But if you have rights to do that, for example, I'm creating one of these for my coach, and he's written 2 books, and he's actually given me the text for the books to upload. I then that's okay for me to do that. It wouldn't be okay for me to go steal that, find it online, and upload it. That would not be cool. So, but keep in mind, you can do that as well. And that's a really good thing, Mark. You can paste that right in there. Everybody's ready to go and happy as pie. So, all right. Well, guys, that's it. Any questions? We've used 45 minutes here, which is the most I want to ever take on a webinar. Any questions about how to configure these, or in general about custom GPTs that I can answer while I've got you here on the call today? Any questions at all?
Well, I have a comment. When you're
Please, William.
Yeah, so when you're training, when you're doing your stuff on the left-hand side and you're testing it on the right, sometimes I find, like, if I'm not getting the answers I'm looking for, I'll have it, I'll work through it in the right-hand side, and then I'll ask it, what did it learn from our interactions? And it'll tell me what it learned, and I'll copy paste that in the left-hand side. So that way it's essentially training itself.
Really smart. That's a great tip. I don't know if you guys all caught that. So William, that's brilliant. I love that. So use the preview pane to go ahead and get it together, the type of response you want. You can do multiple prompts. And then when you finally got that, ask it, what did it learn? And take and copy and paste that into then your builder so that it remembers that for next time. William, that's a great share. Thank you so much. That's awesome. This is why I love these webinars. We get the community to get involved, and I just learned something that I didn't know. So that's great. Thanks, William.
I find, like, I think, sometimes it's hard to keep up on, when OpenAI update things or whatever, but the model already is always going to be updated, and it knows what it likes. So what I've been doing, instead of, like, basically working smarter not harder, is I let it do what it does, and I'll continually ask it questions. And then Another thing I'll do is I'll continually ask the questions, and then I'll copy the back and forth between me and ChatGPT on the right-hand side. And then on the left-hand side, I'll say, here's some feedback for you so you can learn from it, and paste the back and forth. And so it'll see the user interaction, and I'll actually learn from the user interaction.
That's a great tip. That reminds me a lot of the first document that I uploaded. I made a comment to you guys. I actually, while driving, if you are familiar, through the ChatGPT app now, you can actually turn on voice feedback, and you can talk to ChatGPT and it will respond back to you. But when you do that, it actually saves all of it as text. And I had about an hour-long conversation asking it about topical authority, sharing with it my perspectives, my opinions, asking it as a consultant to give me advice. I then shared that entire document as a PDF, and that's that first document that I uploaded. So William, great idea. You can use that. And I did include not only ChatGPT's responses, but mine as well, because I wanted it to be able to analyze both sides of the conversation and learn from that as though it had been a proverbial fly on the wall listening to that entire conversation. But even better, having photographic memory of exactly what happened in that. So great thing. Thanks for the share on that, guys. Those are fantastic. Well, I just want to remind everybody, before we do that, any other questions? That was a great share, by the way. Great comment. Anything else anybody's got? I don't see anything popping up in the chat at the moment. Are there any other things that you guys would like to share, or any other questions? Yes, Jeff's got one. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, I just like the idea of with the dentists. It's basically a business plan. So I can see a possibility where you could go through different niches and offer them an outline of their total business, which some people are just playing it by ear. They might have only been a dentist for 1 or 2 years, and they're missing half the overall picture. So you can be a topical authority and say, listen, this is the stuff you need. When they look through that list, they really do see you as an authority.
Well, and you're a great example of that, Jeff. You have got a plethora of guides and checklists and instructions and videos. And imagine uploading all of those, and then again, having one for a dentist and providing it to any dentist. Say, hey, you want to learn, here it is. And again, we generally are trying to get people to download that stuff from us for free anyway. Why not do that through an email sign up and use it as a lead magnet and set it only to be for you and people with the link instead of being public? And then share it with people. Use it as a lead magnet. Create one of these, and Jeff, you can run an ad and say, if you're a dentist and you want to have a ChatGPT configured just for you and how to grow your business, I've merged my knowledge, my experience, and everything about the dental industry to provide you with one interface to ask questions and to get guidance. And again, what a great lead magnet! It'd be fantastic. I think I need to do that. That's a good one. I love it. I'm not in the dental space, but I love that idea.
Yeah, but you go after the niches that you're comfortable with, obviously, which is good.
Exactly. No, I think that's fantastic.
The other one I liked, and funny enough, it's in the back of my mind. You know what we're like as entrepreneurs. We've got 1,000 things in our head. One of the things I was going to do in the coming weeks, which I've had a lot of luck with, is to reach out to people and say, which is true, guys, you're on here. When's the last time you got your car checked? It's probably in the last 6 months, right? But when's the last time you checked your website? It makes you more money than your car ever will, right? So you should be checking your website every 3 to 6 months because things change. So my idea was to go out and offer people, Jonathan, that free health check for their website. And you can always find heaps of things wrong. Every website, ours, anyone's, right? And then you can say, hey, get your guy to fix it. Or if you like, our people can fix it for you, blah, blah, blah. And that's a foot in the door, basically, for new business.
Oh, it's a great idea. It's a great tip. And I think that's where it's exciting. There's so many things that we can be doing and utilizing these tools to do and to help us grow our business. Whether you want to use this as an internal tool that you provide to your team or as an external tool that you share, there's just tons of value in it. So really, really good stuff. Really? Awesome. Well, guys, great shares today. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for going ahead and sharing and joining us today. We're going to make this replay available. And the only thing I'd ask is if you know anybody that would like to learn about CustomGPT's, go ahead and share it with them. We'd love to have that. Go ahead, Mark. What do you got?
One more a bit technical. If you are if you're going to take a very long chat with the ChatGPT, it is usually very good idea before you see the network error to save or to export text to TXT file.
That's a great tip, Mark. Very good tip. Yeah. Keep that in mind because OpenAI is having a lot of just server load issues and everything right now. Again, as we're recording this, it's the end of November in 2023. You may be watching it later. That may be resolved. But go ahead and copy and paste those things to your clipboard or save them as a text file so that you're not, as you're typing and sharing and put, sometimes 15, 20 minutes into a response, don't press send and lose it. Copy and paste it to your clipboard, save it as a text file, like Mark said. Great idea. Save you a lot of time and energy.
You just write into the you just write command export to TXT file. It will find the name. It will properly paragraph it. It does everything okay. You don't have to copy and paste anything.
Oh, guys,
Mark export to TXT.
Mark just dropped a tip. I've been using OpenAI tools for almost a year, guys, and I didn't know I could do that. Wow, Mark, thank you so much. That's amazing. Imagine taking that conversation and telling ChatGPT to export that conversation to a text file. Mark, you just saved me a lot of time. Thank you. What an amazing tip. That's awesome.
I use
awesome tip.
I usually export as PDF. So
that would work well too, yeah. Yeah, a good reminder. I've done PDF. I've never done the text file. That would be super simple. So great tips, guys.
You can edit to TXT file right now, but you have to do something with a PDF.
Good point. William, you're going to add one more thing before we call it a day.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you have the, because now it's on by default, the advanced analytics thing.
Yes.
So what I've done with it, because I work with like data analyst people in my day job. So what I've done with it is I've learned that to a certain extent, it can synthesize data, right? So if let's say you find some data on Kaggle or something that's reputable, you can upload that CSV, have it go through that data, identify what it is, and then tell it to essentially synthesize a sample population based off of that. And so what it'll do is it'll take it, see what it is, and it'll build on top of it. And then you have a lot more data that you can ask questions to. And that's how some of the data analysts have been using it.
That's a great tip.
So if
there is a problem. It is lying very heavily.
Yeah, so if you have a business owner, let's say they've only served 30 clients, right? You can take all the information from those 30 clients and then say, based off of these, what you see here, right? Can you add an additional 1,000 on it, right? And synthesizes based on what you have. So it makes a representative sample of what it is. So it's not hallucinating and it's not creating something. It's basically saying, okay, you showed me this, table. I see all the information. I'm just going to replicate this. So then you have more data points that you can ask questions to. Because most things, you need at least, 100 to be able to get semi-decent like analysis out of it. So with this way, I haven't tried it yet, but I've seen them do it at my job. You can basically add an additional 500 customers. So you can have like 600 customers, and then you can get like analysis, but it's analysis based off of actual data that it sees. Because I can't remember the name of the person that may work, but they said there's this website called Y Data that caters to Fortune 500 companies, and they do the same thing to protect privacy. The people upload the information there, and they do a synthesized sample, so that way they don't actually have to get customer information or PII or anything, but they can get this customized sample that they can then sometimes train new models on and those type of things. So it's taking that concept and bringing it locally.
Great tip. Great tip. Guys, we're at our time limit today. I want to thank everybody for joining. I want to thank you guys for the amazing tips, especially Martin William for joining without being asked and letting me call on you guys impromptu. Very grateful for you. Thankful for the insights. Guys, make it a great day. And if you've got questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I'd love to be a resource. I know Jeff would as well. And my guess is that Martin William would too. So thank you guys for everything. Make it a great day, everybody. And we will see you on the other side.